let's continue on with what we were doing with our half section. Let's have a look at where the edges and lines show up in our half section view. Now notice that there's a 1-inch hole that goes through the top plate down to this bottom plate thing. So, and there's no material inside the hole. So what I'm going to do is first I will trim and use this top of the plate as my cutter, enter, and I'll trim this line. Now, where the hole goes through, it's going to look like this. Trim, I'll just hit enter. There's nothing at that flange, and there's nothing inside the hole. Enter. There is a visible flange here because this side is the outside front view of our part, so we will see the edge of that flange. We will not see an edge over here on this side, and we will have no hidden lines anywhere. Now, no hidden lines in this view that has the section stuff. We will have a hidden line in the top view. Let's make a hidden line for the outside diameter of our round thing. So I'm going to go C for center line, right there at the intersection, D for diameter, 1.5. And right away I'm going to click that circle I just made and move it to the hidden layer. All right, looking good. Now I'm going to put that small 3/8 diameter hole in. I think I will draw it in the top view where it will be clearly visible. We're looking down through the hole and we'll see that small hole. So yeah, it's trying to put me on a perpendicular. That is, oh, but look, there's a center point. That's a really good one. That's the center of all these circles. Click. I think it's switched to perpendicular. I don't like that. I'd rather be safe. So Shift, right mouse, center. There, Shift, right mouse, center. And my circle D for diameter will be 0.375. There we go. Now I can bring a line from the quadrant point of my circle down to this half section view, and I will do a trim. I will make this bottom lip my cutter, enter, and then I will trim off that line. So there's what's happening. Because I'm cutting right through the center of this part, I am going to need to show an edge. Hello, I want a quadrant. Shift, right mouse, quadrant. From that thing down to my flange, enter, and I will TR for trim. I'll use the top of the lip as my cutter, enter, and I'll trim. I'm not going to show a hidden line for that thing over on the other side though, am I? No, no, no. Then I'm going to bring a center line. I'm going to get tricky and try and use my green ghost line. I'm going to bring a center line down here, and I'm going to select that line, which is on the wrong layer, and click center, so I move it to the correct layer. So you see what's happening. Here's a center line. I have cut through the middle of that slot, so the back edge of that slot is visible. I have cut through this round stuff, so down here in the front, both the outside and the inside diameter will be visible, and half of that small hole will be visible. Now, I think I will go put in the hatching before I forget. So let me get the hatch layer current. All right, and what am I going to hatch? Only the stuff that the saw blade cut through. So I will go to the hatch command, click. I want the ANSI pattern. Ooh, you know what I did wrong? I didn't go to my viewport and figure out what my scale was going to be. Well, all right. Let's just try and see if a 1-to-1 scale is going to look okay. Oh, yay, it does. So I clicked pick points, and then I just come down here to my drawing and click somewhere inside the thing that I want to hatch and click my mouse button, and there it is. Enter. So now I've got some good looking hatch. The other thing I believe I need a center line. I'm going to just mirror this center line over to here. Is that right? I think we do put center lines, but not hidden lines. Check me on that. I might be wrong. Now I'd better go to my viewport. And I'd better find out what my scale is going to be. So I'll double click inside my viewport. 1-to-1 is what I've got there. And it looks like that's going to be good. I can get rid of my temporary picture here in just a minute. It looks like my views here at a scale of 1-to-1 are going to work just great. So when I set up my dimension style, go to the fit scale, I can leave it at a scale of 1 and everything will be good. Okay. And for the depth of this hole, you could be sophisticated and call out the hole and its depth in the top view like he did, but I think a faster way for that hole depth, once I get on the dimension layer, would be just to dimension the darn thing here in the section view. And once again, notice what I'm doing. Let me zoom in a little bit closer while we're talking about dimensioning. I'm going to get my dimension, and if I couldn't find it, I could click down this. Mine was on a diameter dimension and I couldn't see the one I wanted, so I clicked that dimension list and I found linear. That's the one I want. Not aligned. That will be a problem. And I'll show you why. I'm going to go off on a tangent for just a second here. Here's what's wrong with aligned. If I click this corner and this corner, it's going to align the dimension with the 2 points I clicked. That's not what I want. So I want linear right there. Horizontal or vertical, thank you. And I'm going to click on the 2 corners that I'm interested in, even though they're not lined up. There's that inside corner and that outside corner. And now I could go down or I could go over, and I'm going to go over. And then I do also want a height dimension to the underside of my flangey thing. Looky there, looks good. And I probably want a thickness on my flangey thing. which I could put on either side of the part. Now, for other dimensions, this inside diameter, I'm going to have to dimension in the top view because I do not have an entire diameter down here to put a dimension on, do I? I only have a half of a inside diameter and a half of a small hole. So those are going to have to come up here in the top view. And I could put those wherever I need to. There's the 1-inch one. And now let me click the diameter dimension again. Select the circle, got it, and bring that over here. I'm going to try to line up with my other dimensions so I look professional. Now the outside diameter I cannot dimension in the top view because it's a hidden line in the top view. So getting my linear dimension, this is the annoying part of diameter dimensioning in my opinion. I need a linear dimension so that I can click the outsides of my round thing. But now what makes me cranky is that now I have to go M for M text to edit my dimension text and either go up here and get a symbol, or if I remember what to type, looky there, %%C, I could have just typed %%C. And now that's good. I can just click now, or I can click Close Text Editor. And now my rubber band is stuck to my cursor, and I can drop it where I want. I do not need any cutting plane lines because I have cut my section on a center line. I do need a bunch of other dimensions. I don't want you to think I'm done here. I do need, and this middle center line is a little bit excessive, I grant you. That's left over from when I was laying things out. Okay, I do need, in the top view, the location of the center line. So I'm going to go from one outside edge to the center line, plus I need the overall width, so from one outside edge to the other outside edge. That has completely located this centery stuff in the middle of the part. Now, what else? I need two other radius dimensions. Let me click down my list of stuff here. There's my radius dimension. I need this big one. And here I need to do M, enter, because I need a 2 times, don't I? Okay. Here's another thing I find annoying. I don't like that extension line that it brings up when you do a radius. That's new in the previous 1 or 2 versions of AutoCAD. I don't know how to get rid of that. I often just do a leader line for a radius, to be honest with you. And then I'm going to get another radius command again and click on this little outside corner, which is a 1/16 of an inch, and I'll do M, enter, because I need 4 times space. Click. And I'm going to try to line that up with my other radius dimension. That's what makes these look professional. Woohoo! And I need, this one needs to be a little bit, I'm running out of time on my video thing here. I just want to say I really need this dimension right here, and I really need this dimension right here. There. I think I'm done.